Goddamn.
Can you just message?
Because he just gets to sit there and listen to me suffer my way through this piece of shit.
No, I do not. I'm trying to defend this film as best as I can, but this is the unmovable force. Is that the phrase?
The unstoppable force and the immovable object.
Yeah, the unstoppable force and the immovable object. You're the object, I'm the force.
I'm the juggernaut, bitch.
You gotta do so. I'm the juggernaut, bitch.
I'm the juggernaut, bitch. That was an internet meme. That was one of the first internet memes they ever put in a movie.
Wait, was it a meme first and then in the film,
Yeah,
or was
it a meme first?
How was that?
It was just a meme online of like the Juggernaut busts in and says, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." A lot of the time.
Okay.
And then when they were making the movie, they were like, "Hey, that's people like that about the Juggernaut. Let's put that in the movie." And that became Hollywood's modus operandi for the rest of time.
Yeah, they love that shit. Are you gonna intersplice, intersplice this shit together, or is it gonna be in two parts?
Undecided. We'll see how long it all ends up.
Okay, just in case. Welcome back to part 2 of Master of Disguise. Is that?
Fuck off.
I'm joking. It's the Master of Disguise.
Hold on, I just need to get my mic started. And okay, we're back.
I don't even know if you're recording.
I am recording. It's a new day.
Oh God.
We have to tackle this thing in 2 parts because
we just had so much fun in the first part that we came back for part 2.
Listen, you're making me watch this movie. I'm taking it seriously, and I'm gonna
Took it way too seriously, but let's go. I love this energy from you.
It's because the movie represents more than just a movie. It represents an assault on my eyes and ears and mind.
Where did we leave off?
The turtle. We were talking about him biting the nose off the guy, and it's terrifying, and he's a demon.
Turtle.
What if harm found its way to you? Hilarious line.
Found its way to you?
The funniest line in this movie. It really is the shining light in this sea of abyss.
Okay, so we've just had the turtle scene.
Oh, and we exit the turtle scene by he starts laughing and spinning around in a circle as the camera pushes in on him, and then it just fades away.
Yeah.
So we can only.
How did you feel about that fade?
Well, it's a crossfade. I don't mind crossfades as much. They're.
But did you see the narrative purpose in it?
No, but I don't understand the narrative purpose of most of this movie. I think they said, we need to get from one scene to another. We can't think of a button for the turtle man.
So when he's spinning as a turtle, and the camera is zooming in on him, it's showing him at this current state in the film where Pistachio his mind is racing and he's trying to figure out the next move because now he's been thrown off. Devlin Bowman actually exists. He knows Devlin Bowman exists, and that's why he's spinning around in a circle suit.
It's either that or they were like, yeah, the audience is going to be pulling their fucking hair out. Let's mirror that a bit.
I was chuckling. I wanted more of the turtle scene. Even though it was the worst scene.
You don't have hair to pull out.
Oh my god. Just for that, I know what my next pick is.
Oh god.
I know what my next pick is.
I didn't mean it in any bad way.
You're right. But I know what my next pick is. You better be careful. A few more years. Might have to go to Turkey, bro.
Oh no, yeah, Turkey's in my future somewhere.
Would you really?
Yeah, maybe. If I had the money and I thought I'll get more parts if my hairline was better.
I can tell you love your hair.
I do. I used to have fucking awesome hair. I used to have 80s metal glam hair.
When I first met you, you had the school shooter hair.
80s metal glam hair, but yeah, sure.
Whatever you want to call it.
My hair wasn't all greasy and flat and drippy like a school shooter.
No, but you had that coat which made you look like the school shooter.
Oh, well, I still have that coat. I had an even worse coat in high school. I had like a fucking Matrix-ass leather trench coat. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was intimidating. I wore it for about 4 months at school.
Did you wear the shades?
No. I was never a big shades guy. But I wore that coat for a long time. I kind of like calibrated the bar for myself really low. People were like a little unsettled by me, and then when I revealed myself to be a pretty affable person, they were like, "Oh."
When did you realize that you looked like a school shooter?
I kind of knew the whole time, but I didn't put together that I was like tricking people.
Yeah.
Until after the fact.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but the first time I ever met you, I saw you in that coat, and I heard you were American, and I just went, "Oh God, he's gonna shoot us all."
No, don't be ridiculous. We're in London. I would stab you all.
I'm not even a Londoner. Yo, listen, there's so much shit you take out. Don't take that out.
So he bites the guy's nose off and spins around, and then where the hell do we go?
They go to dropping Jennifer off, and we get to meet Trent.
Right, Trent, the maniac. He's very possessive about his girlfriend, and
which is weird because of what happens later, by the way.
Yeah, well, he's all just a macho.
He's there was a period in films when the love interest had a boyfriend who was always an asshole.
Yeah.
Have you noticed now that the love interest's boyfriend is a nice guy?
He's nice. You like him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I wish this wasn't happening to this guy, but he's not the main character, so fuck him. It's the perfect James Marsden type.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's Cyclops.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I kind of hated Cyclops.
Well, because it's especially in rom-coms when they let James Marsden be more charismatic than Cyclops let him be.
Like in Enchanted.
Exactly.
You enjoy him.
He's a bit of an idiot, but you love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he can't end up.
You actually love him more than the main lead. What's his name?
Robert Dempsey? Is Robert?
Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey.
Robert Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah. Grey's Anatomy, right?
Oh, whatever happened to him?
I think is he not back at Grey's Anatomy? That's what he was in, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think he might be.
Oh, wow.
He might be. I know the main woman is there, and she just broke it down real quick. She was like, "I'll be stupid to leave this. It's great pay. Like, I get to flex. Like,
also the show's named after her, so I don't even know what they would do without her."
Yeah. And I think the only issue she had with the show is that she felt like she wasn't being compensated. And it kind of makes sense. Like, I mean, it's been going on for years.
It's like the biggest show on network television in the last 20 years.
Pay her. But we meet Jennifer. Sorry, we've already met Jennifer. Jennifer's boyfriend, Trent.
Trent, who's an absolute maniac. He resents the shit out of her son. Like, he says it out loud. He really, really hates the kid. So we don't have to care about him at all. Oh, and this is when Pistachio tries to fight him. He starts tap dancing around, and Eye of the Tiger starts playing.
Yeah. Like, who's your daddy?
Yeah.
Who's your daddy?
And it's really just like, jangle the keys, look at the keys. And he goes in for a slap, and immediately gets disarmed, because of course he does, because Trent's like a foot taller than him. And if you try to slowly approach and open hand slap someone, they're gonna stop you.
Well, for now. Trent get what's coming. Trent get what's coming for him.
For now, he's bad at it, and suddenly he won't be later. Oh God, what happens now?
Then you see Governor Jesse Ventura, which you told me was a wrestler.
Yeah. Jesse the Body Ventura. He's in Predator. He was the governor of Minnesota. Seems like a decent dude.
He still was the Liberty Bell in this.
Yeah. So this is what I mean when I said yesterday. Do these disguisey powers have like mind manipulation? Because they
no. I think they're just saying that because they're famous, they get away with it.
That's not how anything works. The Liberty Bell is in it. The Liberty
Let's
Bell
be
is-
honest. Let's be honest. Your president said grab it by the pussy, and you still nominated him.
Okay, but not when this movie was made. This
Yeah,
movie was made in 2002.
Come on. We'd already had we already had Clinton getting head in the office.
But that's not as bad. You can't just walk out with the Liberty Bell. Also, he's the governor of Minnesota. The Liberty Bell's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's what
completely-
I thought. He had something to do with like Philadelphia or
No,
something.
nothing. It's a completely different
Maybe he's from
jurisdiction.
Philly.
I don't think he is. He's Midwestern. I think he might be from Minnesota.
Okay.
Jesse the Body Ventura, birthplace. Minnesota. He's from Minnesota.
Okay, that makes more sense.
No, it doesn't. That makes so much less sense. If they had like Sly Stallone do it, then that would be something. But no.
No,
This
you're
movie can
not.
afford
You're not
Sly.
gonna get Sly now.
No.
Maybe if you do a Master of Disguise 2, you might be able to get him after Expendables.
Expendables, yeah. The one funny thing about the Jesse the Body Ventura joke is that the Liberty Bell is a massive fucking iron bell.
Yeah.
And no single man could lift it, but because Jesse the Body, he's a big, strong wrestler man, so he lifts it like it's cartoonishly light.
Yeah.
And that's like-
another. Yeah, I missed that. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
It's close to funny.
Yeah. I was busy thinking who the fuck is Jesse Ventura? Because I
watch-
knew the other ones.
Need to watch Predator.
I have seen Predator.
Then rewatch it because he's in it.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one,
Yeah,
right?
the original.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I do need to rewatch it. Because I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously, and
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two.
Shane Black.
Yeah, he's in it, but to be honest, I don't think I could pick out Shane Black.
He's the one who isn't a muscle man. He's just
makes sense.
because he's a writer, so he's
Which
not
makes
all
sense.
jacked.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Great film. I just thought about the... Yeah. Let's carry on.
All right, I'm having so much more fun talking about other aspects of movies than this movie. Okay, so the dog skateboards away. They're sleuthing around. She's Googling stuff to find out where Devlin Bowman
Ask
lives.
Jeeves.
She's asking Jeeves. And he's just doing some bullshit in the background, and it's really annoying.
Which disguise was this? Was he in a disguise at this point?
I don't think so. I think he
Okay.
was just normal.
It's before the party. The Devlin Bowman party.
It's before all that. Yeah, he's just fighting with the robot again. He's trying to slap the robot, and he can't do it. This is where we see that Devlin Bowman listed his college aspiration as "I'm going to steal all the precious artifacts of the world." That's a funny gag.
I respect it.
I respect. Just be open with it, you know?
Yeah. And no one gave a fuck because they thought you couldn't do it. And then he's doing it.
Yeah, look at him now.
I respect people who say what they're gonna do and do it.
Who's laughing now? No one watching this movie.
I laughed.
There's a Kali the Destroyer statue in the background for some reason. Like six-armed blue Indian god. Like from Temple of Doom. There's a statue of it in the background for some reason while all this is happening.
You know I'm not a fan of Temple of Doom.
Why?
I think it's the weakest one.
Of the original. We don't... Yeah.
I don't count the other ones.
Sure, yeah.
I don't count the other ones don't exist to me.
It's for sure the weakest one. It's decently racist.
And to be
It's
honest, what's the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
the fourth one.
Yeah.
The Shia LaBeouf one?
I like Shia LaBeouf.
I don't mind Shia LaBeouf.
He should be the next Indy. He won't be now because he insulted Stevie.
Well, his character's dead now.
He's what?
In the fifth one, apparently he dies off-screen in Vietnam.
Come on.
That's 2 franchises Shia has been killed off-screen in.
Because he pissed off some people. Yo, don't
Pissed
piss
off
off
Michael
people.
Bay, pissed off Stevie.
Don't piss off people. But I'm really impressed by all these references you keep bringing up because I don't know the Indian god.
Kali the Destroyer?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I need to fact check myself there. Kali the
See what I mean? You're
Destroyer.
thinking about it. There's too much. How many 4-year-olds
Kali the
do you
Destroyer,
think know about Kali the Destroyer?
I would not show this movie to a 4-year-old.
Why not?
This movie would be very disturbing to a 4-year-old.
They would love it. And Temple of Doom wouldn't be?
I saw Temple of Doom when I was about 7 or 8, and Nah, Temple of Doom was fine. The first Indiana Jones disturbed me with the face melting and all such, but
not the heart getting
no,
ripped out.
that was badass.
Interesting.
Well, because I'd been desensitized by that point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you think watching movies is desensitized you? Especially movies you weren't supposed to be watching at that particular age.
I mean, no, not really. Because when I don't like gore stuff. Like if I see videos of actual gore, or
Do you like Saw?
kind of, it gets a bit gratuitous, but in a way that's like.
What about the first one?
The first one's pretty good. It's just a decent thriller, and it's not that. I mean, it's gnarly, but it's gnarly in a way that feels connected to the groundedness of the movie. And then they go off the rails with acid injections and traps that no one can escape from.
Saw.
Yeah.
Still not as good as this. But yes, Kali the Destroyer in the bathroom.
In the background.
In the background.
In the bathroom would be so much stranger.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get to the party scene.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're almost to the end of my first page of notes. She's Googling things.
Asking Jeeves.
Googling things. She's binging things. She finds the information they need. He's acting like an idiot in the background.
Oh yeah, they're at the lair.
Yeah, in the Sanctum Sanctorum, whatever.
That's Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
This is different.
barely.
They did it first.
No, Doctor Strange did it first. Doctor Strange has been doing that since the 70s or whatever.
They stole it from Master of Disguise.
The comic book writers went forward in time to steal this idea from Master of Disguise. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. This is
based off a comic book.
This is the defense. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. What, you gonna Google it?
Yeah. No, it's
Google
not.
it. Google it. Master of Disguise comic book.
I'm gonna Google it. Master of Disguise comic book.
Recognizable IP.
It's not based on a comic book, Tawana. It's not based on a comic book.
You sure?
Yes.
I read it.
Where I would love to see your source for this existing.
Well, I read it. It was in front of me. And I read it.
You sound like a maniac right now.
What?
Because you're talking about things that don't exist.
I
Master
read
of
it.
Disguise?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It must be like a graphic novel or something.
Nothing about that coming up. If it existed, it has been erased from history. Have you been, like, Mandela affected from an alternate dimension where this is actually a good movie?
It is a good movie. I think you're in the different realm. I need to talk to more people who've seen this film.
Yeah, let's find some of those people who contributed to the 1% Rotten Tomatoes rating and
1% like it. I'm proud to be the 1%.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
Everything needs one defender, I guess.
I'm proud to be the 1% because 99% did not get it.
Yeah. I wonder why. It's not based on the comic book. They're Googling things. The narration happens, and this is when the narration starts to do this thing where it recaps exactly what the characters just said they would do. Like they say, all right, so we're gonna go to this party, and he's gonna disguise, and we're gonna get the information.
Just in case the 4-year-old didn't get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. If the 4-year-old was so enamored with Dana Carvey fighting with the robot in the background that he missed all the exposition.
Yeah.
So then the narrator just repeats it verbatim, but not in a way like the "so crazy it just might work" callback keeps happening, not in a way where it's intentional and slightly charming and sarcastic about it, just in a way that it thinks the audience is idiots. This movie is hateful. They're at the party, he's doing a church lady type old lady character. It's the best character so far because he's so specific with it. What did you think about this character?
I liked the Al Pacino one better.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet?
No.
Which party was this?
This is the auction. This is or like where they're showing off all these old artifacts.
Oh yes,
this
and
is-
they meet Devlin for the first time.
Yeah, this is how they get invited to the party.
I remember the mother. Yeah, because Devlin sort of brushes her aside and gets enamored by Jennifer, and you still see Pistachio trying to, you know, get some loving.
Well, from the get-go, he's doing this bit where the old lady thinks that Bowman is trying to hit on her, and she's very offended by it.
Yes.
And so she's like, this is never gonna happen.
And
At
then
one point
she
she
flips
says,
the comedy where she wants Devlin's attention.
in a way, but she's still, it's all about like saying, you're never gonna, at one point she says the line, well, guess what, Backstreet Boy, this is one Girl Scout that isn't content to be your Malcolm in the Middle.
See,
Which again, not jokes, just references to things that exist.
here's the thing. I am about to criticize this film.
Oh.
Okay. Because when you make sort of modern day references
Yeah.
like that, as time goes by, people don't remember Backstreet Boys. If I go to a 16-year-old right now and I said, do you know what the Backstreet Boys are? Mm-hmm. They're not going to know what a Backstreet Boy is.
And that's why society's collapsing.
Backstreet Boys, is that Himi B? No, that's Britney Spears.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Backstreet's back. Oh, everybody.
This is the end. Really helped them.
Rock your sure. Yeah, that's true.
What about what's the song in Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
That's NSYNC.
NSYNC.
Yeah.
They're not the
kind of-
same.
No, NSYNC is where J-Tins came from.
They're interchangeable to me, yo. It's just a bunch of white guys.
Backstreet Boys is the forerunner to NSYNC.
I prefer
Backstreet Boys-
Westlife.
I don't even know any of them.
Westlife, the Irish band.
No.
They're the first One Direction.
Really?
Westlife crawled for One Direction to fly.
When was Westlife around?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Okay, yeah.
Early 2000s, late 90s. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard any of their stuff.
And they just did covers.
That explains it. That's not
They
great.
didn't write their own. Well, I found out it wasn't their original stuff because
Yeah.
as I got older, I was like, oh shit, they just did covers of great songs.
It was an all-cover boy band.
Kind of, yeah.
That is bold.
Kind of, yeah.
Wow.
And that's where they messed up. That's why when One Direction just did, it was the best song ever. Oh, 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 was the best song
I
ever.
don't even remember that one. I just remember, that's what makes you beautiful.
Oh, I just mashed them together, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, One Direction.
We need them back. Oh wait, the guy died.
Yeah. Liam Payne died, and Harry Styles is acting, and
He needs to stop and go back to One Direction, yo.
What we need back is Big Time Rush. Nickelodeon's Big Time
What the
Rush.
fuck is that?
Nickelodeon's Big Time Rush.
No.
When they tried to do, like, in the 60s, they made The Monkees, which was a studio-assembled band with a TV show attached to them to sell their music. They did that with Big Time Rush in the early 2000s on Nickelodeon, late 2000s, 2010s.
No. Do you know what we need?
Who?
The Chipmunks.
Oh, God.
The Chipmunks.
No.
Chip. So when I was on tour last year,
Yeah?
I was sharing my dressing room with one guy, and he would put on music. And then at a certain point, he asked me, "Oh, do you have anything you want to put on?" And me being me, I went, "Yeah, I want to listen to the Chipmunks."
That is insane. That is...
Then he put on the Chipmunks.
You were a psychopath.
Then the lady, the young girl who was doing his hair and makeup,
Yeah.
would come in. She came in and she was like, "You guys listen to the Chipmunks?" They're like, "Yeah."
Oh my
Why not?
God.
Why not? Why not listen to the Chipmunks?
Because it gets pretty ear grating after about 45 seconds. And I've watched multiple Chipmunks movies.
You didn't watch the TV show?
The cartoon? I
Yeah.
think I caught a few episodes of it on like Boomerang or something.
No, it was the cartoon that was lit.
Yeah.
The films are fine, but when these the Chipmunk kids,
Oh, the Chipettes.
the Chipettes, yeah, When you add the Chipettes, we don't need equality in our chipmunk movies. The chipmunks. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
So
you don't need to equalize it. We got Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, bro.
So we
don't need the Chipettes.
We cut to after the party. They're at the park. We get an R&B cover of "Walking on Sunshine," which is they played that song earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
Just to be like, earlier he was walking on sunshine. Right now they're not walking on sunshine, so I don't know why they're playing it. Aside from the fact that they're outside in the sun, but they're not walking. They're sitting on a bench. Doesn't make any sense. He's like, she's not comfortable honeypotting the bad guy. They're gonna be like, okay, so Jennifer, he's into you. You go to the party, distract him, and I'll go around and search.
Great idea, by the way.
I mean, it makes sense, but she's understandably not into that because she signed up to be an assistant, not a fucking PI honeypot spy.
Yeah, but she's the Jennifer Love Hewitt, Pistachio's Jackie Chan. That's a Tuxedo reference for anyone who doesn't know.
Such a better movie than this. God, I wish we were talking about the Tuxedo right now. They go to the party. This is when I read that she could sue the Pistachio and the Disguisey family for so much money.
Why?
Because this is not any reasonable job, forcing her to do these things.
She didn't sign a contract.
Well, that's even worse.
She knew what she signed up for.
Well, she's got a dental plan, so she must have signed something. You can't get dental insurance without signing something.
Listen, you're getting into the minutiae of the shit. You don't need to.
Well, because she's also into the minutiae of it. Because as soon as they're about to start the adventures,
does it get explained? Does it get explained?
No, she asks for it to be explained, though. She's like, when I go to the dentist, does that cover me and Barney? Do I pay them directly, or do I bill you and then you reimburse me?
And then what does she do next after that?
Then she goes on the adventures because she needs dental insurance for her young son.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because she's a desperate single mother.
Yeah. Talk shit, you eat shit.
Her life is so depressing. She's dating a maniac. She's forced to work for this.
But she lives in New York City, and it seems like a nice apartment, which kind of looks like the same apartment from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, because if you're in New York, you don't want to see someone occupying like a shitty little studio.
Yeah, but most people
you want to get a townhouse.
Are probably in a shitty apartment.
Yeah, most. Can't show the real New York. It's like Paris. Can't show the real Paris.
That is true. I don't want to see the real Paris. I don't want to see. Imagine Emily in Paris, but it's in the fucking slums. I wouldn't watch that shit. It wouldn't be one of my favorite shows ever.
Probably wouldn't be one of your favorite shows ever, but I would watch a full season of that. That sounds amazing. She just loses all of her money, and she has to live an actual person.
Yeah, but if you watch season 1, she's broke.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
Not practically.
She's only got 104 followers.
She's living in Paris amongst luxury and hot people all the time. She's not broke.
Because of her job.
So she's got a job, so she's not broke.
I want to do Emily's Paris. Yo, we're getting sidetracked right now. Because you know me. If you get me into Emily in Paris, I'll talk about that all day.
I know.
I'll talk about that all day.
I would so much rather have watched Emily in Paris than this movie. I would watch all of Emily in Paris. All of every episode to never watch this movie again.
I have been thinking about possibly watching TV shows, but no, you're not running away from this. Carry on.
Okay, so they're at this place. They're at the what the hell is that?
It was the best song ever. Oh, 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 it was the best song ever. You're in control. Don't want to show. Don't know what you're gonna go. It's
That sounded familiar.
Do you know who my favorite One Directioner is?
Who?
Niall.
Niall? Singular Niall? Not Niles.
No, Niall.
Niall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, now I know how it's spelled. I remember.
Yeah. Niall.
What has he done?
What?
What's he done since?
Music.
What's he up to?
He makes music.
He makes music?
Yeah.
I've never
Still
heard of
releases music. Yeah. Probably the most consistent One Direction to release music. Yeah.
Is he like the real musician of the band?
He is the brains out of everybody.
Huh.
Yeah. Harry and Zayn, the good looks.
Yeah.
Liam was...
Was he the bad boy?
No, I think he wanted to be the lead one. and then it turned out that it was Harry.
It's Harry.
Here's the thing, right? I saw One Direction from X Factor, which I don't know if you've guys have it in the States.
Yeah.
But I saw them get formed because Liam auditioned way before on a previous season, got rejected. Then he came back like maybe a year or two later, and he got through, but they all got rejected because they came individually. Then they went, actually, we like you, but individually, you guys don't have it. But as a band, you'd hit, and they finished third. And they've probably been the most successful act out of X Factor.
Yeah, I couldn't name another one.
Exactly. Leona Lewis. I don't know if you know who that is.
Nope.
No one, no one, no one. You're getting me sidetracked. Maybe I've got ADHD. Carry on.
Okay, they go to the party. He's doing the Al Pacino shit.
My favorite impression.
It's probably the best because Al Pacino is just a funny person.
But it's not just Al Pacino. It's Al Pacino in fucking Scarface.
Yeah, specifically Scarface. But then it goes off the rails because, of course, it does. Because he can't just focus on doing any single impression or character. He has to include all this other shit. So he pulls out a literal shrunken head. Some tribal chieftain from the village of Constantinopolis. So some indigenous Greek tribe was murdered and their heads shrunken for trophies, which horrifying implications.
Then he plays the guy from Jaws.
We'll get there, but first he keeps doing the Scarface, and then it goes off the rails. It stops being a Scarface, and he just starts saying ha ta 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 over and over again for like 30 seconds. He says ha ta 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 ta. What is that? That's not anything. It's jangling keys. It's just look at the silly man make noises.
It's Al Pacino.
When has Al Pacino ever gone ha ta 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 ta?
You gotta do it like that.
What is that? That's not Scarface. That's not a Pacino.
It's a Pacino.
That's nothing.
It's a Pacino.
Is the joke that he sucks at disguises? Is that part of this movie?
I thought that was the joke.
He sucks at the spy work of it.
So
he keeps.
It was during this point
Yeah?
that I sort of realized, because I hadn't looked up the production stories or anything about the film. I sort of realized, okay, Dana Carvey just wants to do impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is his Al Pacino impression.
But then why are the impressions so bad and all over the place?
You love Dana Carvey, so you tell me.
I don't love Dana Carvey. I think he's pretty great. He's
great and don't love are like oxymorons.
No, he's not like my favorite guy. He's not Martin Short. I love Martin Short. Dana Carvey's like, yeah, he's good. I recognize that.
You went from great to good.
He's pretty great at stuff. When he's good, he's great. He's not always great, though. He's a bit inconsistent. As this movie exemplifies. If he was just doing the impressions, that'd be fine, but they spill out into all this other bullshit, and it's just not funny anymore. There's no specificity. Specificity!
Wow, I feel like I'm back in drama school right now.
Right? Because specificity is where you get to relate to things. General waves of vibes don't work. It's not interesting to watch. He's doing the Scarface. She's investigating. There's the throwaway line from off screen when she's sneaking through the house, and it's like two guards saying, "I'm telling you, man, Scooby-Doo is computer generated." And the other guy goes, "But he looks so real," which is actually one of the funniest bits of the movie. It's not to do with anything. It's just a different little conversation of a different
because
story.
they got lives too.
Yeah.
I like it. See? Thank you. Master of Disguise is looking out for all the characters.
But it's the only time they do that. It's the only time it does that. And there's nothing as funny or as ad hoc as Scooby-Doo looks so computer generated. I guess they're talking about the James Gunn written live-action Scooby-Doo movie that had come out recently.
Which I think was released that same year, wasn't it? 2002?
Was it?
I feel like it's 2002.
Scooby... No, that's a great movie.
That is a great movie.
Perfect casting. 2002, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. Fuck. She's investigating. She takes pictures of some celebrities because she thinks that's important for some reason. It turns out it does make sense, but I don't know why she takes them in that moment. His Pacino impression keeps going on, and he barks at some point, which is... With the Scooby-Doo thing, I said that I wrote this movie was written by a stoner who needed to turn in a script in 7 hours. And now knowing that it was Dana Carvey and Harris Goldberg, I would not be surprised if that was fairly true. That they like had this idea and then it got hijacked and they were like, well, we need to churn out a script. It's due tomorrow. Because it feels like that the whole way
Geniuses, if that's how long it took.
I mean, they made money, so good on them. The guy starts choking outside, or no, he doesn't start choking. Brent Spiner tries to get away, and Pacino, for some reason, hears check on something as choking. He tries to Heimlich Spiner a bunch to keep him distracted. When someone's not choking, no maneuver! Best Pacino part of this impression. No maneuver.
No, I disagree. It's the
Okay. You're just saying that because you know it bothers me. See, and I wrote down here, just do a good impression in the movie almost works. When he's actually doing the Pacino, it becomes this virtuoso comedian doing all these different characters. But it isn't that, because Carvey, either he didn't have the chops to keep it that specific, or because the movie's afraid to commit to anything, because it's just trying to jangle keys in front of people. And But Dana Carvey is good enough to do that, so why wasn't it that? What happened? What went wrong?
You are stressing yourself over the minutiae of this film.
Because I had to watch it.
Listen, man, I want to get to the Jaws impression.
We're getting there. He antagonizes the server, insults his manhood, says, you have a tiny little wiener and some tiny nuts. Hoya!
No. He asks, do you have a tiny little wiener and some tiny nuts?
He asks and then he states it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the joke, because he asks and then he reveals the tiny wiener and the tiny nuts.
Not a Scarface thing. That's not something Scarface says. That's just being mean.
Oh my God, being mean? This is how I know you are too young for this type of humor.
No, I can
too young.
understand. I can understand this type of humor. It could be funny, but it's not, because why is Scarface doing it? Why wouldn't he do something that Scarface does?
Because it sounds...
Why wouldn't he start talking about his...
The joke is funnier as Al Pacino as Scarface than it is as Pistachio.
Is it?
Like,
well, no,
you have a tiny wiener and some nuts.
Anything is funnier than Pistachio. But why does it have to be Scarface saying this? Why?
Because it's funny when you hear Al Pacino saying it.
Now he's dancing. He starts doing the dancing, and Spiner's like, "This guy's ruining my party," even though everyone is loving the dancing.
Yeah, that did jar me.
The party is alive all of a sudden, and Spiner's like, "Get him out of here."
You know, I do wonder sometimes. Like, I've never been to a party like that, and I don't think I would want to be at a party like that, just because it just looks boring to me. You've got people walking around with food, no one's dancing, they're just talking to each other. So why am I here? I'm just here to fucking talk to people, which I don't really want to do at a fucking party. I just want to party. But the tiny wiener and the nuts.
Yeah. He's dancing, peasants laugh at the silly man dance. And then so the chase happens, he runs away, instantly.
It was during this sequence of him changing into different disguises that I noticed the Master of Disguise theme playing.
Oh, is this the rap version of it, or?
Was it the rap version of it?
I don't remember. That happens at some point.
But you know the one I'm talking about, right?
The song where it's
Yeah, that's when I noticed it, and I was like, oh, they've got a theme. That's pretty cool. It's like Scooby-Doo.
They've got multiple, yeah.
No, as in its own. It was literally Master of Disguise.
No, I know, but then there's a rap one that comes along later that is also about the Master of Disguise. But this one's like a more 90s rock version.
Oh, to appeal to old fans.
Like the new Scooby-Doo version, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Multiple title themes.
Yeah. But after Scarface, he turns into the...
Robert Shaw from Jaws, which is actually a great impression.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it's actually great because he's committing to it. And he's doing the full Robert Shaw drunken, slight incoherence. He's like, and Man went by dark hair, there's a shark in the water. And then they're like, because they're looking for, did a man with dark hair run through here? And he's distracting them, and then he does the full routine. He's like, you ever seen a shark? Got black eyes like a doll's eye. 29 kids go in the water, 22 kids come out of the water. Ice cream man take the rest. April the 9th, 4:30 p.m. That is so dark. An ice cream man abducted 7 children from a pool.
Should watch Weapons when it comes out.
Oh, yeah. This is a genuinely funny impression due to how dark that it goes. But they ask to see his arm because I guess, well, it's possible in their minds that a man could get into full costume and prosthetics in like 10 seconds. Him also doing arm hair on top of all that is just not believable.
Because there's only a 1.5 Master of Disguise at the moment.
I guess so. So he shows them his arm, and he's got hairy arms. And I didn't understand this joke because Pistachio was not established to have super hairy arms.
No, it was
Robert...
because he was Al Pacino.
Oh, is that why it was?
Yes.
Okay, now that makes sense.
Yes.
So he can get into full costume very easily, but he can't take it off.
No, it's too much.
Sure.
He's only 1.5.
Okay.
He's not 7,000 level.
No, definitely not.
No, not
definitely
yet.
Definitely not 7,000.
But
no.
his next disguise is a pile of shit in the ground.
Yeah, cow shit. And the guy steps in it, and he's like, I think I stepped in cow shit. And then they walk away, and he immediately gets up. And so they just turn around and see him.
Yeah, you should have waited a few more seconds.
Just all of this could be saved by him just waiting a few more seconds.
Did you not laugh when you realized that when you stepped in it, it was real shit, and he stuck there when he was running?
No.
No?
I didn't laugh at that.
No?
I didn't laugh at any of this bit. Don't fart. Don't do it. I'm not gonna add a fart sound effect to make that work.
You should.
I'm not gonna do all that work.
You should. You should. It's a great homage to a great film.
I'm gonna have to do so much work to edit this episode already.
You're the one who wanted to go through the minutia of the whole thing.
Yeah. Listen, I could have just like washed this over. I could have dismissed it. I could have said it's Master of Disguise.
I knew you
couldn't.
I knew you couldn't.
No, because I take things seriously. Okay, so the cow shit, he runs away, blah, 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 blah. They chase him again. It's a weird Beatles beat, no, it's a Monkees-esque theme song as they chase him. That's, yeah, the Master of Disguise one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Scooby-Doo thing, yeah. And he's still in full cow shit costume. Apparently he can change instantly, but he's just not. And he waits at a bus stop, and apparently that's fine. They stop chasing him because we get another Illuminati wipe.
He's got the newspaper in front of his face.
Oh, so that, sure.
Yeah, can't see the grass and the shit on his face.
No, just the grass on all of his body.
He can't see that with the newspaper.
I mean, if you only look at the head, neck area, sure, but that works, and we get an Illuminati wipe. And then he shows back up at the mansion, doing this weird like Pee Wee Herman German stereotype with these big gross teeth.
Oh yeah.
And he sees the same goons that just chased him. And they haven't put all the dots together that all these insane characters they keep finding might be the same weird freak doing it over
how
and
can
over
you?
again.
The disguises are super great.
Well, this is the thing, though. They know that some weirdo is going around disguising himself as bizarre people. And each time they find a new bizarre person, they don't think, hey, maybe it's another guy disguised.
You know why?
Why?
Because they're only goons. If they were smarter, they would be higher up in the food chain.
But they suspect all the weird people. But they don't suspect that it's all
because they're
him.
goons.
They just know that something's weird about them.
They've got a certain level, okay? They can suspect, but they cannot tell that it's the same person.
They don't have the authority to make those decisions. The German stereotype goes on, I just need to ask her a couple questions talking about Jennifer, and he keeps going, yeah, I'm not gonna bite her. Vampire. He's a vampire.
No.
He's got a compulsion to bite people.
No, it was a sexual assault
energy.
Joke.
What?
It was a sexual assault joke.
What?
By her.
But he's got the big old weird teeth, so I think he means literally biting.
Yeah.
What type of sexual assault?
Anything where you do something that the other sex doesn't want you to do.
How is this a joke then? This is just terrifying. This is just threatening.
That's the joke. That's early 90s jokes, yo.
This came out in the 2000s. The early
Early
90s
2000s
that was,
jokes.
The early 90s was 10 years before this movie.
Early 2000s.
It's a miracle the Indian thing scraped through. How this movie was allowed to be made, I don't know. So he's doing the biting thing. I think he's a vampire. They do think he's weird, but then they walk away instead of just holding him there. Spiner's trying to hit on her, and then they go back out, and this is where we meet Terry Suave, the James Bond type. But he's not just James Bond, because he's also James Bond mixed with like this high-class dipshit.
Yes.
Like a lord nobility kind of foppy, you know?
British posh.
But he's also kind of like James Bond. So again, what's the impression? They're mixing things together. I don't understand what we're lampooning here. It's just a general thing.
But it
now.
works.
This is one of his better impressions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll probably say he's 3 and 5.
3 out of 5 for this one?
No, 3 and 5. Out of 5 impressions,
Yeah.
3 hit.
3...
Every 5 impressions, 3 hit.
I don't care to do the math on that, so sure, yeah.
I would say Al Pacino, Jaws, shit on the face.
Really?
German,
It's not even an impression.
Terry Suave. There's your 5. Terry Suave, Jaws, Al Pacino.
Is that the shocker? What are you doing?
What? I'm trying to say, there's your 3.
Okay, so
There's
you're
your
saying
3.
the cow shit and
The cow shit and the German
don't hit?
don't hit, as well as Al Pacino, Jaws, and the German guy.
That's true. I mean, if we're lowering the bar for hitting to that, then yeah, that they don't hit that bar.
3 and 5. That's a good success rate.
Success is relative. But then he keeps doing this, but then it goes off the rails again because he just starts speaking gibberish again. It stops being any sort of lampoon of this British classical archetype and just becomes, he starts saying, well, I could tell you, but it'd be a real ding-dong, dingy-dingy dingwad. Hut 1, hut 2,
You mean
I need a
British people
Charleston
don't talk
chew.
like that?
Hut 1, hut 2, I need a Charleston chew. I love when I go out to the tube and I ride the bus and I hear all these people around me saying, dingy, dingy, dingwad. Hut 1, hut 2, I need a Charleston chew. Doesn't that happen so much? It happens so much in the city, it's annoying. Truly.
You really wrote that down.
Yeah. Because what is it? Because what is it supposed to be? It's not a joke. It's not making fun of any specific archetype. It's just saying gibberish. It's just jangling keys.
Because British people actually talk like that. Sometimes, not all the time.
I've never heard a single British person talk
You
like
haven't
this.
met the nobility.
Even they don't say things like ding dong dingy dingy dingwad. They say things that are like quaintly ridiculous in an upper class way, where they pronounce names like Cholmondeley, Chumley, and Fanshawe, and stuff like that. They don't just say random ding dong dingy dingy dingwad.
Ding dong dilly dong dong ding shing dong.
Hut 1, hut 2, I need a Charleston chew. And we've come to the end of notes.
Hut 2, I need a Charleston chew.
We've come to the end of notes part 1. Enter notes part 2, 56 minutes and 13 seconds into this movie. 24 minutes left. Home stretch.
Home stretch. This is when they gotta do some recap on everything they found out from the house, from the party, from the big mansion,
Yeah,
from Devlin Bowman.
yeah. They realize that this dude is strange, but he gets Jennifer out of there. He's just vomiting words. There's no aim. There's no joke. He's just shitting into the camera and
funny,
calling it a day.
y'all.
He keeps doing this thing where he says, "Get it, got it, doubt it." What is that? What is that? What is get it, got it, doubt it? What
Did
is
you
that?
get it? Got it? Doubt it.
I have a lot of doubt right now. Yeah.
It's to throw you off. It's like, who's your daddy? It's to throw you off, disorient you.
It's just nothing.
As
It's
Ross
just
would
nothing.
say, it's unagi. It's getting inside your opponent's head.
Sure.
Unagi.
Karate.
Yes, that's exactly what this is. This is 4D chess of the mind.
Except it's not, because they realize that he's this weird, strange person that keeps chasing them. Spiner tells the guards to chase him.
Follow them.
Chase.
Follow them.
I mean, follow, yeah. And then the camera lingers on him for way too long. Like a weird amount of time, several seconds. And I wrote that this would have been the perfect place for a fart joke, but they don't do it here.
I think maybe they planned it and they just went, maybe not.
They could have cut 2 seconds earlier when it would have been less awkward. Why didn't they do this? Why anything? They could have just added in the fart sound effect and it would have made a joke out of it. They would have made a joke out of a moment that has no joke. It's just a few seconds of nothingness. So they're back at the hideaway. They're looking at the pictures, which include Robin Williams, I think Ricky Martin was in there, Whoopi Goldberg, Paul McCartney, and Madonna. And they realize that his dad is being forced to steal stuff.
And who realizes it?
It's Jennifer?
No.
It's Pistachio?
Pistachio.
Okay, so good for him.
Because he's smart.
That's the first contribution he's made so far.
Made so many contributions.
It's so crazy, it just might work.
He's been an active hindrance the whole time. Jennifer could have handled this entirely by herself. They're at the restaurant talking this over. He spills the waters because he makes a big motion, and he spills a bunch of waitress's waters onto Trent, who is on a date with Sophia.
Right opposite. So here's the thing. So
Yeah.
you've got Pistachio and Jennifer, and I think they're facing each other.
They're facing each other.
But the
over
direction
left.
that Jennifer's facing is literally where Trent is sitting.
Yeah.
With Sophia.
He's in their field of view.
Yes. And they don't recognize.
They don't recognize
Which
him.
creates the comedy.
And Trent also doesn't recognize them back, even though he is, I guess, cheating on his girlfriend.
Yes.
With Sophia, who is also cheating on her boyfriend. And then Rex is also cheating. Everyone's just cheating and fucking.
Because it's New York City in the early 2000s.
And no one sees each other. And so then Trent tries to fight him, and he suddenly gets good at slapping, and he says, "Who's your daddy?" And he beats Trent up. Why he's suddenly good at it? Who knows?
Literally slaps the shit out of him.
I don't think literally slaps the shit out of him.
That's literally what he did.
Is there shit in this scene?
Oh my god.
You're saying literally slaps the shit out of him. In this movie, saying literally slapping the shit out of someone would result in a shit joke in this movie. Like, I'm surprised they didn't do that.
Yes, he did shit himself.
He did?
Yes, he did.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, he did. You should have smelt it.
It's not, this isn't a smell-o-vision movie. Thank God.
I smelt it.
I think that might have been you, man. So Trent's out. There's a random shot of an old Italian man going, "Whoa!" Sophia's really into it. She's flipping on Trent. She's calling him a horrible person, and she's trying to get with Pistachio. And he's like, "Nah," and he leads Jennifer out with his arm. And on his way out, he knocks out the J6er.
Rex.
Yeah, because fuck him. Then we see Jessica Simpson stealing the Moonlander.
Because it's Jessica Simpson?
I don't understand what Jessica Simpson has to do with the Moonlander. As she's driving away, the guards say, "Jessica Simpson, whoa," just in case the audience wasn't sure who that was. Or if they're like, if it's 23 years later, for instance, and Jessica Simpson is no longer relevant, and people watching it have no idea who Jessica Simpson is. But the movie's making sure that you know that that person was Jessica Simpson.
Actress or singer?
Singer.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, she
her.
acted too. But this was her film debut.
This is a film debut?
Yeah.
So I see, okay, I know her as a singer, even though I haven't heard a single song. Maybe
No.
I have.
I mean, maybe.
And I didn't realize it was Jessica Simpson.
Couldn't name one. It's 23 years later.
Couldn't name, yeah, you were too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what she has to do with the Moonlander, but the Moonlander... Guys, come on, the Moonlander is still on the fucking moon?
No, it's in the museum.
No, that's not the Moonlander. That's a replication of it. There's a reason that the Moonlander isn't called the Moon Visitor. It landed there.
I saw it in The Last of Us.
It's not the real Moonlander, though. The Moonlander is on the moon. It landed there. We couldn't get it off. That was the plan.
Then Jessica Simpson got it back.
She got a replica of the Moonlander, which anyone could just have made. And it's not even a good replica. It looks so shitty later on. Brent Spiner could have had a better one made.
Costs so much money. Jessica Simpson goes to the moon and gets the Moonlander. I'll go with that.
That's definitely not what happens.
Let's go with that.
That's definitely not what happens.
But this is where Brent Spiner laughs again.
Yeah. And he doesn't... Yeah? Take it away.
He gets to the end of the laugh, and he doesn't fall.
No.
And he's so surprised. But then he falls.
Yeah. Like I said, that's actual good comedy math. That's a rule of threes. It's the subversion of the joke. It's one of the funniest actual jokes in the movie. That is the level this movie is on.
High peak performance.
When the dad is taking off the face mask, it's really disturbing.
Why?
Because he morphs very suddenly. It's not the mask. His whole body morphs from Jessica Simpson into an old Italian man.
Because he's a level 7000 master of disguise.
No, sure, but it's very disturbing to watch.
I think that's just you.
It's not like Mission Impossible where they just cut away at the exact moment as they take the face mask off and then swap it out. It's like you see the shift happen. It's like an anamorph. It's terrifying.
I think that's just you.
Well, I'm very disturbed by lots of this movie, so maybe. What happens? The whole audience was thinking, I want to get some... Oh, yeah. This is when Jennifer confesses to Pistachio, and she says, I want to get something off my chest. Today, when I saw you dressed up like the crazy hairy guy, at that moment, I really thought you were this pathetic, insane, absurd little man, which is exactly what the audience has been thinking this whole time. But then she ruins it, and she says, and now I can believe you'd do anything.
Yes.
And
yes, you know why? You know why she said that?
Why?
Why?
Because she's in love with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is she in love with him? What did he do?
He beat up Trent?
Exactly. Slapped the shit out of him.
That's a bad message.
Literally. That's what most of the messages were back then.
Yeah, beat up the
guy and the girl will love you.
Stop being such a little nerd loser.
Yeah.
That's...
Spider-Man had it.
Yeah. Beat up Flash Thompson. Make him look like an idiot.
If you beat the bully, you get the girl.
Yeah.
That's what we were taught.
That's, of course, not how that works, but sure, whatever. She's in love with him now. He takes it way too literally because he's dumb. She's like, I believe you can do anything. He's like, well, no, I couldn't do some random silly thing. But then he keeps slipping. He's kept slipping little bits out, like he loves her. He loves her tiny ass or stuff like that. And somehow she's into it now, and they kiss, and it's his first kiss apparently, which makes sense.
Yeah, but that's why I love him. He's an underdog, man, and he gets the girl.
He does get the girl. They get married.
At the end.
At the very end, yeah. In the credits, they get married.
Yes.
It is at this point on this street scene that I wrote. This street has the weirdest color lighting because, you're seeing in the basement levels from the townhouses, there's these red and green lights emanating. It's shot like an interesting stylized movie set. If this was a scene from The Mask, for instance, it would look right in place because it looks like kind of a cartoon world. But the rest of the movie doesn't quite look like that. So it's very out of place. This movie can't commit to any one thing.
Should have been nominated for cinematography.
It's real scattershot.
Production design.
I'm not going to even acknowledge that you're saying that. Spiner then kidnaps her, and we get the narration telling us that. We see his car pull up, and we know that it's his car because we've seen his car multiple times, and so we could have figured out that, he's going to kidnap her, but the narration tells us that he kidnaps her because the audience is dumb. We're silly. We're
4-year-old kids.
Yeah, we're little stupid pieces of shit, and we need the narration to understand. Pistachio pulls out the magic ball that he got at the beginning, and it spins, and the grandpa appears as a giant Zordon floating head.
Yes.
Real...
Nice reference you just made. Power Rangers, for anyone who doesn't know.
Oh, classic, yeah.
And what the grandpappy, he gives him the wisdom that he requires because he knew he would need it later on. It's not actually his granddad in real life. He pre-recorded this.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he says it.
But he's reacting in real time.
Yeah, because he's that smart.
Jesus.
Energico.
Apparently when Spiner was kidnapping Jennifer, he went into the building, smoked a cigar, and then left his cigar at the scene of the crime again.
Because that's what he does. He smokes it and drops it.
Because that's just what he does. And so the kid comes up, Barney, the young kid, comes up and says, look, my mom was kidnapped. He left the cigar. And it takes Pistachio a minute to realize what's going on because he's big, silly. Spiner's showing off all his stolen goods. He's getting ready to auction them off. He's got there the Liberty Bell, the Mona Lisa, The ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz. The best preserved Betsy Ross American flag I've ever seen. It's so clean. It hasn't been falling apart at all for something that's over 200 years old. Actual funny one that comes up. So he's got Betsy Ross's flag, Michelangelo's David, Bruce Willis's hairpiece from Die Hard 2.
I didn't even know that he was wearing a hairpiece in Die Hard 2.
I'm not sure he actually is, but Bruce Willis wearing a hairpiece is kind of a long-standing Hollywood joke, and I appreciate it. I appreciate seeing it.
Why, did he start balding in Die Hard?
He was balding from a fairly early age, yeah.
Okay.
Like in The Sixth Sense, he's almost definitely wearing a hairpiece. There's no way he had that much hair at that point in his life.
When did he start going full bald?
I'm not entirely sure when full bald, but like even in Die Hard, you can see his hairline is kind of receding. And I'm not saying that like, haha, bald funny, my hairline's receding. I just think that the Bruce Willis hairpiece joke is a good running gag throughout movie history. I appreciate it. There's a good one in Always Sunny about it. And the Moonlander, of course. Anything you want to add so far? Or should I just keep plowing on?
No, I want to get to the ninjas.
Okay, we're getting there. We see Kevin Nealon, SNL's Kevin Nealon. Very, very funny guy.
Oh yeah, he's interviewing Devlin Bowman.
Yeah, he's the representative from Black Mart eBay. And he says, we at Black Mart eBay have a policy of not asking how stolen items are obtained.
Good policy.
Apparently he's a big fan of the Master of Disguise. He's heard of the Master of Disguise. And he's like, is the Master of Disguise doing this? And so,
I forgot, is it in the bloopers or in the film where he asks, can he disguise himself as anybody?
That's in the bloopers. When he's like,
They should have put that in the film, yo.
He wants the Master of Disguise to pretend to be various hot celebrities so that he can have sex with them.
Wouldn't you do that? That's basically like the AI robot.
That's kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah. If you can get your own Master of Disguise.
I mean, you would still have to make a slave out of a man to do that. Because the Master of Disguise doesn't want to be doing it.
You think human beings are conflicted about slavery?
I hope that most are.
Come on now. We've had slaves for God knows how long. We got slaves now.
Yeah, but at least they're like far away. We don't have to see it happening.
Okay.
This movie's making me real fucking cynical. At this point, Spiner unveils the Master of Disguise in a cage, and Kevin Nealon is like, "Are you gonna auction him off too?" Which is just
because that's a great auction.
It's a funny conclusion to come to.
Yeah, he wants to buy the Master of Disguise. That's what I got from that.
Yeah, she's gonna auction this man off.
But Devlin's plan is to superimpose his face.
Crazy glue specifically, not superimposed.
So that he cannot take it off.
Crazy glue a mask of his own face onto Fabrizio's head, push him off a cliff, and fake his own death so that he can get away with it. Apparently this is the perfect crime, even though he's not wanted anyway, because...
They don't know yet.
Huh?
They don't know yet.
Who doesn't know?
The authorities don't know that Devlin Bowman's the one stealing all the artifacts.
No, because that was the whole point of kidnapping the Master of Disguise.
Yeah, but then when they figure out that it's Devlin Bowman, they'll be like, oh, he's already dead.
Do they ever figure it out? Why would they ever figure it out?
That's part of the plan, yo.
I don't understand this plan.
The plan makes sense. You're just nitpicking the plan. The plan makes sense.
I don't understand why he wants to fake his own death. He makes it out of here, okay. He makes it out and he gets to Spain by the end of the movie and he's still not being pursued by the authorities.
You jumped super much.
But he's not...
It's not a phrase.
He doesn't need to fake his own death. There's 16 minutes left in the movie. We're getting there. Cherry pie costume.
Cherry pie.
Terrifying.
This should be a horror film.
Yeah.
Because
it's really disturbing.
How he managed to fit in the fucking bowl of cherry juice.
Well, so I had a question about this, yeah?
And he managed to get out.
Yeah.
And the costume looks like he's got herpes all over, red herpes all over his body.
It's like he's a skinless, bulbous monster. He's like the guy in RoboCop that gets acid spilled on him and he starts dissolving and mutating and then he gets split in half by a car. It's really nasty.
But it's good though.
With the coming out of the pie, is the implication that he magically fit inside the pie?
He's that
just
good.
The pie? Or
no,
is the
he is the pie.
Is the implication that there's a giant tub full of cherry pie filling that he was hiding in, and he has to emerge from the pie from within the tub?
No. He's a level 5 at this point.
So he is the pie.
He is the pie. He disguises as the pie.
Haunting. Gonna have to check every pie I eat from the rest of time now. He starts running. Because he never waits for people to be gone, he just pops out at the earliest convenience and starts running and starts getting chased. The guards say, "It's the Cherry Pie Man, get him," as if that's a known figure. They don't say, "It's that guy dressed as a cherry pie." They say, "It's Cherry Pie Man."
Because he's in Scooby-Doo.
What?
He's in Scooby-Doo.
Who?
Cherry Pie Man.
Cherry Pie Man?
Yeah.
That's not a Scooby-Doo reference.
Yes, it is. Did you never watch the original TV show?
If I look this up and there's no result for Scooby-Doo Cherry Pie Man, I'm not listening to anything else you're saying for the rest of the episode. Nope. Nothing.
I saw the episode.
From which series? New Scooby-Doo? Classic Scooby-Doo?
Classic.
I'm not seeing anything for Scooby-Doo Cherry Pie Man. There's not a single result.
They must have erased
I'm seeing the Pumpkin Pie Poltergeist.
That might be it.
Well, that's not cherry pie.
I must have gotten it confused. It's still pie, yo. Pie is pie. I don't know what you gotta call it, pumpkin and all kinds of shit. Pie is pie.
Fuck. Oh, this isn't even from real Scooby-Doo.
But I definitely saw a pie monster.
It's from some weird action figure stop motion short that Warner Brothers made. Pie Monster. Okay, so Cherry Pie Man is not a thing, but they think it is for some reason. He starts shooting cherries at them like a spitting cobra.
Yeah.
And the goons are stopped by the cherries because I guess they're so strong and fast. But as we see the guards get pelted with cherries, they're coming from multiple directions.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that there's PAs standing on set throwing cherries at these guys from multiple directions. They couldn't even have it all come from one direction. It's the best song ever. We cut to the auction. Jennifer's being forced to be the camera girl.
Yeah.
She's literally chained to a wall.
Mm-hmm.
We see on the computer screen that they're bidding for the Constitution, and someone just bid 7 donkeys for it, and then it's up to 2 million Danish marks.
And this is being live streamed, and you see Kenan.
Yeah. Great use of the internet for the early 2000s. And yeah, it's Kenan Thompson. Kenan's watching it.
Which was after Kenan and Kel, but before SNL.
Yeah.
Nice to see him.
Yeah. Good for him. He's living the life. It's a little 3-joke setup that they do here. As Kenan's watching it, some weirdo Germans are watching it, and some Mongolians are watching it. And the format for each one is, yo, blank, check this out. And it's first, yo, Doug, check this out. Then it's, yo, Little Eva, the Germans. And then it's, yo, Beardy, check this out, because the Mongolian has a big beard. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. There's no joke being made. Spiner, he's chewing out his goons for not realizing that the costumed freak might be the same costumed freak they've been dealing with all day. They know that there's these costumed demons that can disguise themselves as anyone.
It's not demons, it's Pistachio.
They're working with one. They know he has a son, and they kidnapped his parents, and they never suspect that the son might be coming to rescue his dad by disguising himself as a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah, but at this point, he disguises himself as one of the goons. And then Devlin says, oh, how's the kids?
How's the wife and kids? Yeah.
How's the wife and kids?
He's like,
and he turns
fine.
around. He's like, 1 second. And then he shouts, you don't have a wife and kids.
Yep. Clever on Bowman.
Oh, God.
Good for Bowman for seeing through that.
Oh, God. And that's why he's Devlin Bowman and not a fucking goon.
I guess so, yeah. And this is when I asked, what happened to the energy code giving him knowledge of the people he's pretending to be? Why would he not know that this goon he's disguised as doesn't have a wife and kids if he's supposed to get all the knowledge and skills of the people he disguises himself as?
He hasn't tapped into the energy fully yet.
No, it hasn't been mentioned since the first time it was brought up. Spiner punches him in the face because he forgot to change his cherry shoes, and so that's how Spiner saw through it. Not because he's clever or anything, because, again, Pistachio is just an idiot. He's just an idiot who forgot to take off his cherry pie shoes.
Yeah, but he's observant enough to notice the cherry pie shoes. The
Anyone
goons
would be.
didn't.
Because the goons are also idiots, apparently.
I don't know why you're trying to take this away from Devlin.
Well, because it's not a big achievement. If you notice someone who's been running around as a cherry pie man forgot to take off his cherry pie shoes, it's not hard to put together. It would be the first thing I noticed, honestly.
He calls upon the ninjas.
Yeah, the ninjas come out. So the other day, we were moving some shit around, and I said, "Hiya!" And you said, well, "That's racist." That's not racist. What Pistachio does here is racist.
What does he do here that's racist?
He goes on a full full Bruce Lee sounds.
Because he's a ninja.
No, he's not a ninja. He's not a ninja.
He's fighting ninjas. Exactly.
That's like,
What sounds would you make if you're fighting a ninja?
I wouldn't do that sound. And normally I wouldn't think that it's that bad, but because he's already done the Indian guy in this movie, I have to take this as a somewhat offensive stereotype, because it's been proven that they do that before.
Early
The Energica
2000s.
works off of racist
Do you know what you are,
stereotypes.
Max? Do you know what you are?
What?
A snowflake. You're a snowflake.
I'm not particularly upset about it. I think this movie is trash.
But I like the ninjas.
I mean, I don't feel one way or another about the ninjas. It
I really
happens.
enjoy the ninjas. I love ninjas when they show up. They are badass.
Ninjas are cool, yeah.
You can only see their eyes.
Yeah.
It's like Middle Eastern women who wear the hijab and you only see their eyes.
I guess there's a mystique to it.
Yeah, it's the mystique. That's what it is. You never know who's trying to kill you.
No, you don't know who it is. They could be anyone.
But here, Pistachio holds his own.
Yeah, because they're not very good ninjas, and so he just starts flipping and slapping, and it works, and all the ninjas run away.
And this is the time when Devlin also escapes.
Not quite yet.
Has he not escaped yet?
Very nearly. The ninjas run away. Everyone online is watching this happen. We get a little line from Kenan Thompson again. As the ninjas are running away, off-screen, a racist voice, a racist caricature of a voice says, "No way, he slap us silly."
That's hilarious.
Spiner reminds everyone that the mom exists, and she's just been doing the same thing this whole time, and a goon, again, begins to emerge from the pile of flour. Why they're hiding in there, not just holding her at gunpoint, I don't know. But apparently she's been anticipating it. She knows what's happening. She headbutts the goon.
Stopped eating the fucking food that was drugging her up.
And then she beats the goon, and she mugs at the camera and says, "No more caramel corn for me."
Yeah.
Was the caramel corn what was drugging her?
Yeah, because Devlin mentions it.
So when did she stop? Why is she aware right now?
Because she's a disguiser.
By marriage,
Yeah.
not by blood.
She learns. She learns from her husband.
I guess so, yeah. When she says, "No more caramel corn for me," the Mongolians nod as if they understand what that means.
Because caramel corn is in Mongolia.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What's so hard to understand?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Caramel corn is in Mongolia.
I'm sure they have caramel corn in Mongolia, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would they understand that "no more caramel corn for me" means that she's not being drugged anymore? They don't know that the caramel corn is drugged.
They know. It's self-explanatory. The Mongolians are smart.
The grandpa shows up out of nowhere, just decides to start helping now for some reason. I don't know why he's allowed to help now. I thought he wasn't allowed to help.
Because it's the final sequence towards the end of the film.
Because it's the big sequence and everyone has to be there because they paid for these actors and goddammit, they're going to use them. Spiner reveals the dad in the cage with the mask on. He says he's going to have the dad kill everyone, and then he runs away laughing. Do you want to take this part? I'm sure you love this part. I'm sure you've been waiting for this.
He runs away laughing.
Yeah.
And as he runs, he's farted.
Yeah.
See, there's not even the pause.
No, it's just as he's... And it's the same sound effect over and over again, which is kind of funny in like a very Tim and Eric internet comedy sort of way.
Oh, God.
But then he runs away, and at the last one, suddenly he gets awkward about it. And then he slides out the door. Why was it only the last one that made him feel awkward about the farting?
Because he'd been farting throughout the whole run.
But that didn't distract him from laughing earlier. He made it through the whole run farting and laughing. Why is it only the last one that makes him feel weird?
Because we need the awkwardness of it.
I think he should have just gotten over it and just accepted that he farts when he laughs, and he should have just run out
It's
the
a
door.
new condition. He didn't have it in Palermo. He got it whilst he was in jail.
How do we know that?
Because the laughter came from the nervousness when he was in jail. And that was sort of like his booty hole just...
You're making shit up entirely. You're just making shit up now. Apparently his dad has been pulled over to the dark side of Energico, where we get the Star Wars ripoff spelled out for us, where Pistachio's like, hey, it's like Star Wars.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Just in case anyone hadn't made that connection, in case anyone was still under the false assumption that there was anything original about this movie.
Everything.
Nope, we get that spelled out. We get another product placement as Pistachio says, Dad, take off your mask and let's all go grab a bite to eat at the Olive Garden. So is that product placement or is that just another Italian joke?
Both.
I guess, yeah, get that ad money.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Olive Garden good?
I wish I was one of those birds. Olive Garden's fine. It's not great. It's not great Italian food, but like...
I'm not a fan of Italian food. I think it's overrated. Personally.
Well-made Italian food is delicious.
You know what? Maybe you're right. I don't think that's the flavor.
You think?
The flavor. But then what you've just said, well-made Italian food.
Yeah.
I need to eat well-made Italian food. I don't feel like there's enough protein and enough flavor. I want more. It's a lot of sauces.
Okay. Where were we?
Daddy's woken up and is Brent Spiner.
Yeah. Brent Spiner's playing it like he's in a stupid self-aware comedy, but the movie isn't aware of that, and it's just tragic. This great performance is just being tanked by the way it's being presented. The Moonlander prop looks really cheap. They climb to the top of it. Bowman Fabrizio is trying to shove Pistachio off of the Moonlander, but the drop is like 10 feet. It's not a high place. He would be fine. He might hurt his feet a little bit. It's like 10 feet off the ground. It's like the joke in Always Sunny, when he's pushing the guy off the roof, and he falls, and it's all slow motion and dramatic, and then he just lands. It's like a 5-foot drop. It's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's like this, but it's serious. There's no undercutting of that. It's just, we're supposed to imagine that him falling 10 feet is life-threatening.
I'm gonna push you 10 feet, and we'll see how you react.
I mean, I wouldn't enjoy it, but I would be fine. It wouldn't kill me.
We'll find out.
That is so ominous. I'm happy to test this out as long as you give me notice that it's happening.
Yeah. As soon as we see a 10 feet fall, we'll be like, remember that time you said 10 feet ain't that big a deal? Let's find out.
Sure.
We'll find out.
Sure. Okay, so if there's no episodes in the coming months, you know what happened. I overshot, and I died. Yep, okay. So he's holding on to there. He's got incredible grip strength. What?
I'm just watching you, right?
Yeah.
Throughout these 2 days we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just watching you go through this film.
Yep.
And it's astonishing to me how you keep powering through no matter what.
I'm gonna get the job done.
You keep powering through no matter what. It's admirable.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can't believe you made me watch this. Where are we? Jesus Christ.
We're the Dark Energico of the Father.
He's falling, he's holding on, he's got great grip strength. He tries to bring the dad back by talking about how when he was a kid, remember when he would put his underwear on his head?
And it's like in Star Wars where Luke is hanging off, he's like, "You're my father," and he's trying to bring Darth Vader back. And shit like that.
That doesn't happen in Star Wars.
Huh?
What?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Where he comes out of the dark side.
At the very end?
Yeah.
He's not hanging from a high place when that's happening.
What's happening? He saves him. Oh, it's the Emperor.
The Emperor's lightning in it.
Yeah, the Emperor's lightning.
Yeah.
And Darth Vader's in his own zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like Star Wars in the most
Wow, that's how
tangential
long
ways.
the last time I watched Star Wars.
Yeah.
Wow, Rise of Skywalker really fucked me up like that, huh?
Yeah. I would rather watch Rise of Skywalker.
But the dark
than this.
Energico starts to come out of Papa
Yeah.
Fabrizio.
Yeah, he tells him a story about, remember when he was a kid and he used to put his underwear on his head, and because he was liked to do disguises, and so he somehow magically pulls his own underwear off of himself as he's hanging without tearing it and puts it on his head.
Is that strong?
This weakens the Spiner Dad, Dark Energico, and he starts breathing heavily like Darth Vader. I'm unsure whether that was a Darth Vader reference or it was just a weird sound effect choice. It feels like unmistakably a Darth Vader reference, but there's nothing else about it that is Darth Vader-esque, so it's just crammed in there. And it could have been done in ADR, so who knows. The dad removes the mask without touching it. All the other times he takes off a mask, he has to pull it off his face, but this time he doesn't. So I have to assume that he fuses his own skin with the mask, absorbs it, and replaces it with his own face.
He's that good.
He's a demon. He's a vampire.
Level 7.
He's an ungodly
Level
monster.
7 Master of Disguise.
Level 7,000.
Level 7,000. Thank you.
So he's back. He pulls up his son. It's all fine. The narration wraps everything up as the three generations of Disguisey do a space cowboy walk away from the Moonlander. That was a nice reference. So niche, referencing the movie Space Cowboys as they all walk away from the Moonlander. So strange.
See? You can tell it's people who loved films who made this.
I mean, very specific 90s films, I guess. Was the entire Moonlander thing just a setup for this joke? Because it didn't.
I can see why you'd be cynical to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because the Moonlander doesn't have anything else to do with the plot. It could be any large object. Could be any high place he's going to fall off of. I think the entire Moonlander is just for a Space Cowboys reference. So he's a master of disguise, yay! But they still have to get the Constitution back because Bowman escaped with it. So we do another Illuminati wipe.
There was a
What?
a whoosh. The medallion.
That was the Illuminati wipe, yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Illuminati wipe it.
Happens again. Spiner is in Spain. He's
Was it Spain? It was Costa Rica.
Was it Costa Rica?
Yeah.
Did it say that?
Sheila didn't make up Costa Rica. I think it said Costa Rica.
I don't remember any.
I think it's Costa Rica.
Remember any chevron of text? It could be, though.
I think it was Costa Rica.
While you look this up, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay. So where were we? Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
We're in Costa Rica.
If you like pina coladas. They should play that music here.
Doesn't really have anything to do with Costa Rica, but sure.
Because he's drinking pina coladas. Sat next to the pool.
He's not in the rain though.
Gotta take everything so literal, yo. It's the message that the song has.
I guess so, yeah. He's living a great life. He's in Costa Rica. He thinks he's scot-free.
And then it says George Bush.
Yeah, George Bush comes up. Probably the best impression in the movie.
So you've had one of the goons, Cherry Pie Man.
Yeah. Cow shit.
No, I'm thinking past after that sequence.
Oh, after that sequence. Cherry Pie Man, the goons.
After Terry Suave, what comes?
Nothing.
So it's Cherry Pie Man, the goon, and then Bush.
Yeah.
1 and 3. Still 1 and 3. Still the same success rate.
1 and 3 is less than 2 and 5.
3 and 5.
3 and 5.
Yeah.
That's less.
Same, as in you've got 2 less.
Well,
2 miss. On average, he misses 2.
okay, sure.
He misses 2.
Sure. So George Bush is there. Bowman is really excited about meeting George Bush for some reason, even though he's carrying the stolen Constitution of the United States in a wicker
George
bag.
Bush.
It's also in a wicker bag right next to a pool. Like, he's gonna ruin that constitution. It's gonna be unsellable.
I mean,
It is exposed to the elements.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's gonna fall apart. He wants to sell it. He's not treating it carefully at all. George Bush comes up and says, "Folks around here can call me W, but you can call me King George." It's great, Bush. I love a Bush impression.
I love a Bush.
Almost as... Very nice, yeah. Should we pause? Should I just continue? What do you think? Does this movie deserve silence?
I was gonna give my final thoughts.
Oh, but we're not there yet. We have to get through all the credits.
I'm not doing the credits.
Oh, we're doing the credits.
I didn't watch the
because
that's another time.
Because the credits include some things.
Then pause.
Terrifying things.
Then pause.
Okay.
We'll do the credits another time, and you can put this together.
Turtle. Am I not turtle? Not turtle. Turtle. Not turtle. Farm.
One, two, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're good to go whenever.
I mean, we're in. You're gonna intersplice it with.
No, for this one, I'll probably I'll put a bleep in so that they know that time has passed.
Because time has passed.
Yeah.
Because you want to talk about the end credits.
I mean, we can't finish the movie without talking about the end credits.
God,
because
this has really touched you like that, huh?
There's 10 minutes of credits left, and we ended on Brent
There's 10
Spiner
minutes of
dying
credits?
and shitting himself to death in the pool. There's 10 minutes of credits.
Oh, I didn't watch the 10 minutes of credits.
You didn't watch the 10 minutes of credits?
No, I was satisfied. I was satisfied afterwards.
So you don't even know what's in here?
No, I saw some of it.
Uh-huh.
And I know it's bleepers, outtakes,
Yeah.
scenes that they probably cut.
Yeah. But do you remember what any of them were?
No.
Well, let's dive into it. So as we end the movie, Brent Spiner dies and farts himself to death in the pool.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone, the three disguises put their hands in the middle and say, "Who's your daddy?" And then they put their hands up and it fades to black. Cue terrible credits. I wrote down, thank God it's over, thank the fucking Lord. Wait, there's 9 minutes of credits.
That's not unusual. Most films have like 10.
Yeah, but
sometimes.
these aren't just names scrolling up the screen. This is more content that I had to watch.
Content.
And that evidently you didn't watch.
I mean, I watched when they got married.
Yeah, okay. So we do see that happen, yeah.
I watched some stuff from the turtle scene.
There's a bit he starts vomiting up random objects. I don't understand what that has to do with turtles or anything.
Oh, I guess when they were probably before they got to the point of thinking, oh, what if he bites the nose off and spits it back up? What if he's just spewing things
What
out?
do either of those things have to do with turtles?
Turtle.
What? There's nothing. It's just
Is that not what
bullshit.
turtles do?
What?
I thought turtles spat things out.
What? What?
Is that not what they do?
What are you talking about?
That's not what they do.
Please describe to me what you thought turtles did.
I thought they were slow, kind of big, had that big shell, can kind of go inside, which we see him do in the scene.
Not all turtles can do that, only box turtles, but sure.
But I thought they spat things out from this film.
This movie informed your perception of real-world turtles.
I have never been around a real world turtle. I just remember when I was a kid, there was like this big ass turtle that we went to see at like a safari.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't see it spit things out.
Yeah, no. Because
But I thought
why
this
would
film
you?
did its research and went, oh, turtles do that spitting things out thing.
you're trolling
What
me
kind
right
of
now.
gags can we do?
You're fucking with me right now.
What you mean? That's not what they do.
So you did see this in the credits as a child, and that informed your real world.
No,
perception of
because
it.
I didn't watch the credits as a child.
So then, what made you think this time watching?
This time, when I was watching, I thought they did the research, and that's what turtles do.
so
And
that
they were
makes-
trying to figure out.
If you saw the credits as a child and came away with that misconception, that would be one thing. But
No,
now
I don't
I
know.
know you're bullshitting me right now. You think this movie did their research?
They were pretty accurate about what turtles do in
the fuck
in
are
the
you
rest of the
talking
scene. I just told you. When the turtle goes into its shell, they did that.
Sure, but turtles don't wear glasses or go around saying turtle.
Because this
turtle,"
is a
and
human
biting people's
turtle.
Faces off.
This is a human turtle.
I can't. There's. It's. I don't
What's hard
even-
to
I
understand?
don't even know where to begin with this.
What's hard to understand?
We have to move past this. Turtles do not vomit things out of their mouth. This movie is just throwing random bullshit at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's jangling the keys. It's, yeah, this fucking movie. In the credits, we get a whole bunch of different clips. So we see them getting married, but then they also get trophies in what felt like another Star Wars reference, but it wasn't specific enough to be clear, so it was just kind of confusing. They get,
Okay.
like, medals put on them. The cow
From who?
from the grandpa.
Oh, the grandpa gives them
'Cause He's
medals.
the one that marries them too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a clip of Dana Carvey in the cow shit costume, and he quotes Scarface, and then it cuts to the Al Pacino costume, and he does a hoo-ah!
Hoo-ah!
You know, a good old-fashioned Pacino. Hoo-ah!
Yeah,
Hoo-ah!
that's part of the impression. If you've got an Al Pacino impression, you have to do that. Hoo-ah!
I know, you gotta have a hoo-ah, but it wasn't in the movie. It's in the goddamn credits.
He doesn't do a hoo-ah!
No.
Oh,
He does a
man.
whole bunch of shit. He does ha-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Ha-ta-ta-ta-ta.
He doesn't do a hoo-ah.
You gotta do a ha-ta-ta-ta-ta and a hoo-ah!
He doesn't do the hoo-ah.
Oh, that's the trifecta right there.
Can you give me a hoo-ah? Can you give me your best Pacino hoo-ah?
What film is it from?
That's just a Pacino trademark.
I feel like it's in Heat.
Sure, when he's on cocaine and heat. It's any Pacino movie where
Wait,
his
he's
eyes
on
go-
cocaine?
his character is.
In Heat?
Yeah. It's possible Pacino was too.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I mean, Pacino said this in interviews that cocaine was a part of that character.
Oh, because you never see him do cocaine.
Exactly.
Oh, but he's on cocaine. That's the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Hence the bulging eyes and the manic.
Okay. Oh, because I remember him going, fetish! I remember, oh, that makes sense.
With a fetish!
So did he do the cocaine thing with a lot of his characters around that period?
I don't know necessarily if it was a character choice or if it was a personal choice to be on cocaine while filming. Either are possible.
Okay. Okay. My best... Okay.
Yeah.
Hoo-ha! That's
pretty
what,
good.
that's my best one.
That was
That's my
pretty
best
good.
one.
That'll do. Yeah. Thanks.
Show me yours.
I appreciate it.
Show me
well, yeah, no, it's you get the eyes bulging, you sort of get the shoulders rolling back, and you get the, and then you get into
Shout out to Pacino, one of the greats, yo.
legend, iconic. We see the turtle costume man playing drums. Dana Carvey is a decent drummer.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh, I guess that's in Wayne's World. Does he play drums in Wayne's World?
I guess. I don't
just
remember.
assumed it's a stoner comedy. He must play drums in it.
Maybe. But why does the turtle play drums in this?
Turtles can play drums.
No, they can't.
They've got little drums in their shell.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They've
No.
got the
No,
shell
I'm not
you can
asking
play
about
as
the-
drums.
I'm not asking about the logistics of a turtle playing the drums. I'm asking what course of events would have led to Dana Carvey in this movie playing drums while dressed as a turtle.
Could be funny.
But evidently it wasn't because they cut it out of the movie. This is my thing with the credits. There is so much stuff in these credits that they cut out that implies the magnitude of things that they cut out of this movie.
Yeah, but that always happens in the process where you cut things out because they don't work.
Sure. The idea of things being so bad that they didn't want to include them in this movie haunts me.
Huh. Okay. Okay, I see. So your point of view is the film is already bad.
Yeah.
What they cut out was even worse.
What the fuck was the bar? What couldn't hit the bar that this movie set?
Okay. because I'm coming from it because this is a masterpiece. I'm coming in from they cut the things out to make the best film they could make.
So, to me, it's all slurry. It's all just a fat bowl of oatmeal.
If you've got strips of bacon
Yeah.
and you got a fat slab of steak,
Yeah.
you're gonna keep the fat slab of steak, which is what they did.
Well, I love bacon, though. Bacon is good in little bursts. You wouldn't want to eat a whole meal consisting entirely of bacon, but you want some bacon strips here and there. What do you consider the bacon of this movie?
The bacon, the end credits, because I didn't finish them.
Right.
But the slab of meat is the film, nice and nutritious.
And see, to me, it's all just a hot dog. It's all just pig guts and hooves and shit that they grind
No, it's more
up.
than that. It's more than that.
I'm
Come on.
not really, no.
Come on,
I'm not willing to say that it's more than that. What else do we see? We get a bunch of them dancing in costumes. Various members of the cast dance in various random costumes on a nondescript mansion set.
Does James Brolin dance as well?
Yes, he does. We're literally watching these trained actors dance for us. Alone, not in like a 90s, it's the end of the movie and everyone has a musicals number and dance party thing. It's just they're all dancing alone, individually, by themselves, in separate shots.
Maybe if you thought maybe they just were filming one day and they're like, let's just do something to put in the end credits.
But the thing is that they're not dancing together, so they had to say to James Brolin, hey, we're doing a thing where everyone dances. Dance for us. Dance for us.
Dance, make you dance, make you good. What's that? Dance, make you dance, make you dance, make you dance, make you dance.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Dance
yeah.
for us, you
Dance,
piece
you monkey.
of shit. Dance, and
Monkey.
we'll put it in the movie. It's funny for the people that were trying to... Goddamn. Yeah, so that happens. We get more characters that we didn't even see in the movie. There's a Groucho Marx character, which actually was one of the best impressions that he did in the movie, and we didn't get to see any of it, so it's
What
just
does
a
that have to
twist
do
of
with the
knife.
storyline?
What does anything have to do with the story?
It fits.
Does it?
It fits.
Does it?
Yeah.
What does Pacino have to do with the storyline? Pacino is
because-
ultimately useless. He
because-
doesn't do anything.
He's trying to bid some time for Jennifer to get inside the mansion. So Pacino's the best one to use because he's gonna mesmerize the whole audience, and they're just gonna be like, "Who's this guy? He can dance. He can have fun. He's on cocaine. My God, best pick." If he does Robert De Niro, people wouldn't pay attention because Robert De Niro wouldn't captivate the audience like that. Pacino would. So it's a great pick. Makes sense. Makes sense. Can't say it doesn't make sense. It makes sense.
I can.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. Why does he have a shrunken head? That's not a Pacino thing. What's with the shrunken head?
Shrunken head.
Yeah. See, you don't.
I don't
even
know.
remember
I
this
don't. No,
movie
no.
that you claim to love so much.
No, because it's been a while now. It's been a while.
But you said it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And it has this little effect in your memory.
I think Pursuit of Happiness is a masterpiece. I don't remember anything.
When was the last time you saw that?
I don't know, maybe a year ago?
And you saw this like a week ago.
No, it's a couple of weeks ago.
2
now.
weeks ago.
Maybe 3 now.
You don't remember the shrunken head.
Oh, that he was holding up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I remember that. I remember that.
Why does he
I
have-
thought you meant he had a shrunken head, as in his head was shrunken.
Oh, like
Which
the guy
is-
in
yeah,
Beetlejuice with the.
yeah, and that's why I was confused because I was like, I don't remember that. Oh, the shrunken head he was
he
holding.
just carries a shrunken head. With
Yeah. He's into voodoo.
Pacino? Scarface? Who is into voodoo?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. Groucho Marx. Would have been great to see some of Groucho Marx, but we don't get that. We just get some more bloopers. There's another scene of young Pistachio eating shit, getting bullied into a locker type situation. And now we get a clip of the most genuine, heartfelt...
I thought you were about to do the Pacino impression.
We get the most heartfelt, most actual, like, artistic part of the movie, which is where we see them doing the explosion thing with the Sprouse twins when it's young Pistachio in school.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand why he mixed the chemicals together to cause the explosion in the first place. It's never said that he's got an interest in chemistry.
He did when he was a kid.
But it was in this one scene we gleaned from that. There's nothing to say.
But that's why it's in the end credits.
But
Bloopers. They cut it out.
But it's still in the movie.
In the wait, do they show it in the scene? Because in the scene he's in science class.
Yeah.
But is there an explosion?
Yeah. He pours the chemicals together and it explodes in his face.
Oh.
And it's the Sprouse twins. It's like, hey, that's Zach and/or Cody, and then it blows up, and it's like, oh, that's Zach and/or Cody blown up.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's both. It's Zach and Cody.
Yeah. Yeah, he's interested in science. The alchemicals.
That never comes up again. It's so they just wanted to throw an explosion gag in there.
I mean, technically it does, because, you know, he makes pizzas, so you mix things around.
Does he make the pizzas?
Sometimes,
We never see him making food once in this
We
movie.
never see him, but he works at his family's pizza restaurant.
You are
so
assuming a lot right now.
What do you mean? How is that far-fetched?
He is a server at his family's restaurant. Server
Sometimes
and chef
he
are
cooks.
different jobs.
You think he doesn't help his
We
mom?
never see him cook once in this movie.
Do we need to see him cook?
Yes, if that's supposed to be a part of his character that we should latch onto and remember about him, we need to see it.
Yeah, but the science thing, I'm just saying, he cooks sometimes with his mom. He does the masks and stuff. Sometimes he paints them, you know, to get the right color. Like Al Pacino, he's a different shade to what Pistachio is. So he clearly had to get the shading right.
Yeah, I mean, he really cares about shading when doing characters, like the Indian guy.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he really had to be accurate with it. They couldn't just have him do a racist accent. They had to give him brown face too.
No, and it has to be the right tone of brown face. It can't be too dark and can't be too light, because you have to know that he's playing an Indian. The voice isn't enough.
We do see the Indian in the credits.
There's more Indian?
Yeah, we see clips of him as Lali Jamba from the Ringy Dingy Heights near Bombay, Calcutta, and New Delhi, India.
I love how you remember that.
We see that a few times in the credits, just in case he wanted to forget that this movie was not only offensive and hateful, but also racist. Remember, it's very racist. Oh god, what the fuck was I talking about before that? The Sprouse twins gag. Yes, this is the best, most genuinely made part of the movie because we see them use actual in-camera tricks. One of the twins mixes it all together. They have a smoke effect. The one dips down, and then the other twin pops back up, and he's already got the explosion makeup all over his face. Which is great. I love using twins in movies. It's like they do that in Terminator 2. There's several twins in that movie.
For which character?
For the
kid.
Not for John Connor, no. For the security guard in the police station that the T-1000 turns into.
Yeah.
And he sees himself. That's a real... They're twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In the scene when Sarah Connor is fixing up the T-850 in the mirror, and we see like the mirror shot of Schwarzenegger, and we see the dummy with the head opened up so that she's tinkering around in there.
Yeah.
They use, I think it's just like a dummy made to look like Schwarzenegger, and then they use Linda Hamilton and her sister.
Is she a twin?
I'm not sure if she's an identical twin, but I think they are twins. They look very, very similar.
Okay.
And so they use her. Twin stuff is great. Twin stuff is great for movie making.
And he means that in movie making. Especially motion picture movies.
I realized as soon as that came out of my mouth how it sounded. In movie making,
motion pictures.
When it comes to special effects, twins are great. This movie uses that, and it's the best part of the movie. It's like they actually cared about the filmmaking. They didn't just
of course they did.
Cheaply cut away and dress him up and then put him back on. They were like, we've got twins, let's put them both in here. And that's the end of that. That's the last time we see any sort of heart in the movie, and we don't even know it until we have to sit through these credits. We get some more flashes of characters we didn't see. There's some nightmarish Edwin-voiced fat guy circus master at like a carnival. It's really shocking and alarming just how much that character is. And they cut that entire sequence out of the movie. Like, this was clearly, they filled a studio with a carnival set and extras to film something, and they cut an entire sequence out of the movie because it wasn't good enough.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
The idea that they paid all those people to spend all that time, money, and work creating this thing that was that bad is God.
I think you might be shocked when you watch some movies and you see the stuff that they cut out.
No, sure. But the fact that was bad enough for this movie, like I said, it's the hot dog, and there was something so bad they couldn't put it in a hot dog. That's poison. You can't eat that. That's not just like, yeah, it's the trimmings of the meat. That's rot. And they tease us. They dangle it in our faces by showing that this movie had rot that they, I guess, saved us from, like an abusive relationship. They tell us, look how bad it could have been, right at the end, to make you think, oh, I guess this wasn't a total waste of my time. They could have been showing me this thing. Okay, the turtle vomits up various shit. Kevin Nealon wants to fuck the Master of Disguise, disguised as various celebrities. That's where that blooper comes from. You mentioned that in the last part of this recording. When the representative from Black Mart eBay wants to, like, dress the Master of Disguise up as various hot celebrities.
Oh, yes.
That's in the bloopers. What do we have? And another entirely cut sequence involving a T-Rex and a caveman. Did you not see this part of the credits?
No, I think that's when I switched off.
An entire life-size T-Rex animatronic picks up Dana Carvey dressed as a caveman. That's fucking expensive to do. That they had a whole sequence around that, and I bet they shot most of it. And then nope, cut that out.
Well, they had a $14 million budget.
Right, that's like not a lot of money.
Yeah, but then when you watch the film, the end product is that $14 million.
Yeah.
The end product, what they showed us, you think that's $14 million.
The whole movie is $14 million.
Now, forget the bloopers.
Well,
what they showed us up until the end credits. Mm-hmm. Is it 14 million?
Well, no, because the 14 million would cover the bloopers stuff too.
That's what I mean.
Right.
That's what I mean. So it makes sense that it was 14 million.
I mean, 14 million seems about right for this movie.
Yeah, but this is 14 million in the early 2000s. How much would that be today?
I don't know, maybe like can't be more than 30 million.
Be like, let's just double it, like 28.
Something like that, yeah. Regardless, that T-Rex animatronic setup must have cost a few $100,000.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
It would have.
And that's like a decent chunk of this movie's budget that they just didn't use at all because they decided it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, but they made money, so.
Somehow they did.
Of which, by the way, remember, I don't know if it was in the first part or the second part when I said it's based on source material. And you said, there's no source material that exists.
I didn't find any source material.
There is source material that exists.
What source material did you find?
It's part of the Jedi Quest.
What?
The Jedi Quest.
What?
The Jedi Quest.
No, stop saying it over and over again. Elaborate. What are you talking about?
It's an 11-book young reader series.
A Star Wars series.
About Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker.
So this entire movie is ripping off Star Wars.
No.
It's not just the Energico thing. It's the whole premise that they're taking from a Star Wars thing. Is that what you're saying to me? This movie's source material is Star Wars?
I'm not confirming nor denying.
Let me tell you, that doesn't make me feel better about it.
I am not confirming nor denying.
Interesting to know. How did you find, because I looked it up when we were recording last time and I didn't find shit.
It's on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So if you go on the Master of Disguise page, it says for the users, see the Master of Disguise Dispanguation at the top. Click on it.
Wait, what does it say?
At the top it says for the...
the disambiguation.
Yeah.
Right, The Master of Disguise, a Star Wars novel in the Jedi Quest series by Jude Watson.
Yes.
Also a Savage Grace album, also a Lizzie Borden album, also Wario, Master of Disguise, a 2007 DS platforming game. Then a non-fiction memoir by a ex-CIA agent, Tony Mendez.
Spun off in so many different avenues, yo.
Tony Mendez, the Argo guy.
Oh, is he the Argo guy?
And his autobiography is called Master of Disguise.
Because it's about spies, yo.
Yeah, I guess. That would make more sense to me as source material than the Star Wars novel.
But then you've been saying all these Star Wars references.
I have been saying Star Wars references.
So are we too far-fetched to say maybe, just maybe?
I'm not entirely sure that you can claim books from another franchise as source material.
Why not?
You could say it's inspired by, but if you take something to use as quote-unquote source material and then just do your own thing from it, then that's plagiarism.
Yeah, but it's different. They don't have Anakin and Obi-Wan.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they're just taking ideas...
Yeah, but they're just taking the idea of someone who does disguises really well.
Also, looking at this Wikipedia page, I'm not entirely sure that this was source material. I think it might just be another thing that happens to be called the Master of Disguise.
I'm gonna go with it's the source material.
See, to me, that's worse. That's worse than just coming up with this out of nowhere. Okay, more cut sequences. Yes, the T-Rex and the caveman, an insane amount of money must have been spent on that, and it wasn't good enough for this. More masters throughout history, so we see, like, I don't know, in various medieval periods, we see a gladiator one, and he's doing a Russell Crowe thing, but it's a really bad Russell Crowe. It sounds like he's from the north of England, but he's trying to do a gladiator Russell Crowe. He says the whole "Are you not entertained?" line. There's a Forrest Gump in there. There's a Queen Elizabeth sequence with a whole lot more slapping, because ain't slaps the funniest shit you ever seen? How funny is a slap, Tawana? How funny do you think a slap is?
Depends how it's done. If it's done like in this film, hilarious.
Well, great, because there's more to come. They have all these masters of disguise throughout history, even though they said that the disguises only started going into the disguisey arts in like the 16 or 1700s, so I don't know why there's a caveman in there, I don't know why Queen Elizabeth is in there, but they are, for some goddamn reason. There's a Bob Ross costume. We get a full sequence of Pacino dancing. We get some more ones with the old lady who's harassing Brent Spiner at the auction. We get more of the racist Indian guy. One of the goons uses him as a ventriloquist dummy. There's bloopers of the dog trying to ride the skateboard, and it takes the dog a few tries to ride the skateboard out with a shot. And that's really cute to watch. That's the happiest I felt in this entire... There's a little oasis in the desert. There's more of this clown ringmaster Edwin carnival abomination that it just terrifies me. Like, that must have been so overwhelmingly horrible to watch. The fact that it's completely gone, not even a trace of that is left in this. Like, that's an entire scene. That's an entire wing of the plot that they just looped off and snipped out.
I mean, there's loads of things that they took out.
Yeah, but this seemed like a big one.
You said the dinosaur was big.
I mean, it must have been expensive. I have no idea what plot it could have served, though.
Okay. Okay.
But this one, there's, like, Jennifer is there and everything. Brent Spiner is there and everything. Stuff happens at this cut carnival sequence.
So I'm guessing the carnival sequence was probably in one of the scenes where they meet for the first time.
Maybe.
instead of the old lady.
Maybe.
Maybe the party at the mansion.
Maybe.
Oh, is James Brolin at the carnival?
I don't think so, no.
Because I'm trying to think if it could have been what they thought about the ending. Big set piece sequence at the end. Carnival. Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know.
This felt to me like it was sort of like a halfway point of the movie. Like, you know, just padding to fill out the halfway point.
Oh, then it definitely could have been the first time they met.
Maybe, yeah. Instead of the auction sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it exists really scares me. It's real bad. What else is there? Let's wrap this piece of shit up. Dog bloopers, clown monster, cut sequence that doesn't flow at all. Yes, so an entirely edited sequence of shots where in the climax, before the ninjas, Brent Spiner sends out a bunch of large-bottomed women to distract Pistachio.
It's badonkadonk.
Sure.
Can you say it?
Badonkadonk?
Good.
Yeah. I've said that word before. That's not new for me.
I mean, you just didn't feel like you had the right phrasing.
I wrote down large posteriored women, specifically.
You snowflake.
Fat ass! The editing here is some of the best in the movie. It's like a Tim and Eric constant cutting away between them, zoom-ins, boom, 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 boom. It's genuinely funny. I mean, it doesn't flow at all because this is a non-issue because it's immediately resolved. He just doesn't get distracted by them, but he almost does, I guess. So, but this is again an entire sequence that they shot, edited, mastered, all of that, and then just cut out of the movie. But they still decided that they wanted the audience to see it. Somehow they thought that this didn't flow in the movie, but the other things did, and so they're like, "We'll just throw it into the credits. We'll give them the scraps." And now, there's a Dracula in there?
There's a Dracula in there.
Yeah.
Is he funny?
No.
Or what Dracula voice does he do?
I think
British or Romanian?
Like a Bela Lugosi Romanian Dracula.
Oh, okay.
But it's not. His heart's not in it, you can tell.
Oh, okay.
And now we're almost at the end. To top it off, he pulls a little person dressed in a Mario outfit, but he's bald, out of the slapping robot. He opens up the back of the slapping robot, and he pulls a little person out of it, in red shirt and blue overalls, and a mustache, completely bald though.
Should have kept that.
Well, this is how they close out the movie. They make a whole thing of it. He pulls this little guy out of the robot, and they chase each other around a bit. As they try to slap each other, and they just chase each other around the empty restaurant for a little bit, and then it cuts to an in-character interview of Pistachio and the little person talking about the training that they did for this movie, as if Pistachio and this person is an actor. They're doing like a post-production interview for the press junket or something.
Yeah.
And they're being like, "Oh yeah, the training was really difficult." Da, 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 da. And then they just pivot immediately into, in the same shot, the same interview shot, they pivot immediately to an attempted at the Ferris Bueller ending of the whole "You're still here? The movie's over. Go home." But they're doing it as Pistachio and this little guy, and it's not funny because it's just doing the Ferris Bueller thing over again. There's no originality to it. But then they put a little bit of originality to it. They fade out. I don't like fade-outs. You know that I don't like fade-outs. But they use it for a joke, because then the little guy says, "Pistachio, I'm sad. I want to say goodbye." And Pistachio says, "Okay, we fade up." And it fades back up.
So you laughed.
They used the fade-out for a joke, so I almost chuckled.
I feel like you laughed.
I didn't laugh out loud, but that little piece warmed my heart a little bit. It was like, oh, they're going to actually use it for something. And so they fade up, and then they do, and they wave goodbye, and then it freeze frames, and then it fades to black again. So that goodwill was gone. They warmed my heart for a minute, and then froze it right back over. And And it still goes on. In case you didn't think it was over, there's one last stab of the knife, which we get the grandpa doing a voiceover with the dog for a few lines. He does a few throwaway lines as the dog. Cuteness?
Yeah.
He says a few lines, which implies that there was a sequence of the grandpa disguising himself as the dog. Maybe he was the dog the whole time.
Yeah. Does he come out as the dog?
No, he just voices the dog.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Where did that idea go? Just let it die in oblivion. Would have given the dog some purpose in the movie. The dog doesn't really do shit in the movie. But no, just leave it out there. And that's the idea that the movie leaves you with. Not the fade-out joke, not the actual joke about ending a movie. They just shove one last little piece of shit in your face about the dog. Imagine if the dog talked. Wouldn't that have been fun? Too bad that's not what you just watched.
Well, there was a TV show where it was the dog that talked.
Of course there was.
And the theme song was, "Who let the dogs out? Who? Mm-hmm. Did you ever see it?
No.
You never saw it? No. I think it was on Nickelodeon or something.
No, I didn't see it ever.
Yeah, I'm forgetting what it's called now.
The show about the dog?
Yeah, the talking dog.
Talking dog.
I mean, there was another show about a talking dog on Disney Channel, but this was like early on.
Early on.
Yeah, it was like a young boy who was trapped in a dog's body, and he was trying to. It may have been a young man, but he was trying to do good so he could be real again.
Uh-huh.
And he could talk.
I'm looking this up right now. 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd?
Yes!
I've never heard of this.
Yes!
It ran for 3 seasons between 1999 and 2002. Apparently the opening title sequence narration is, "I'm Eddie McDowd, I'm a dog and I talk. I used to be a kid, a bad kid, but then I messed with the wrong guy. He turned me into a dog. Can you believe this? That freak turned me into a dog.
Yeah.
To be a kid again, I have to do 100 good deeds." The only person I can hear me talk is the last person I picked on. Now I'm living... Okay. I've never heard of this show. Interesting. How much of this did you see?
I don't even know.
Seth Green voiced someone else as a dog? How many talking dogs are there in this show? Wild.
I don't even know how much I watched.
No?
Because I definitely never got to see him become a real boy. Ever again. But there were a few times when he got close.
Yeah.
At least from what I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then every episode would be him doing a good deed. And if he did a bad deed, he'd lose.
Show sounds like something I would have watched. Much rather watch that over this movie.
Who let the dogs out? Who?
I don't have much else to say about this except that this movie hates and resents its entire existence.
I disagree.
It really feels like it's just resentful of the fact that it has to exist and audiences are going to watch it, so it tries its damnedest to it doesn't try. That's the thing. It doesn't try in any sense. It's just, even the impressions don't make sense. Why does Pacino have a shrunken head? Why does he go ha-ta-ta-ta-ta? Why does Terry Suave say ding-dong, dingy-ding-dong, get it, got it, doubt it? Why any of this?
Why not? It's funny.
But it's not. It's just random nonsense. Funny things. Comedy is the undercutting of your own expectations. It's tricking our pattern recognition brains and giving us something unexpected, which makes us uncomfortable and makes us laugh. This movie doesn't... I didn't know what to expect because there was no structure to it. It was just anything at the wall, jangling the keys. The only times that I really laughed were shit like the turtles saying, "What if harm were to come to you?" Because that is unexpected as fuck. I couldn't have ever dreamt that he was going to do something like that.
So you liked it?
No. How do you come away from this thinking I liked it?
You didn't hate it?
I hated it. I've said it multiple times throughout this recording.
Okay. I
really hated this movie.
Fine.
Do you have anything to say to wrap up?
I think this film is a masterpiece. And if you don't like this film, you don't like cinema. It's a masterpiece.
That's one.
It's one of the best comedies of the 21st century. Better than This Is the End. Better than The 48th Virgin.
That's not that hard.
Better than Tropic Thunder.
That is. The fact that you can say that without hating the words coming out of your mouth is impressive.
Okay, let's be serious for a second.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't hate rewatching this film.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to, but I didn't.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And because I'd seen it before,
Yeah.
I knew what to expect. Granted, I didn't remember some of the things. But when I saw it, it was like instant. It was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Awakening the memories.
Yes. I laughed. But I didn't laugh probably in the way of like, haha, this is funny. It's like, it was more like, haha, can't believe they actually did that.
Yeah.
Which, to me, is the charm of the film. Because it's like, oh, you got to make a film and this is what they allowed you to do. I always think, right, in the way of, if you make a film and then you've got producers all watching it and you're doing it through the whole process and then you get to the final product and everyone's there at the screening with the producers, the marketing people to see what product this has turned out to be. And everyone went, yeah. And that impresses me. What I also have to keep in mind is that Dana Carvey had a completely different idea of what he wanted this film to be.
So yeah, that is very interesting.
And because the studio wanted him to make a more child-friendly film, I can see how he went, okay, I'm going to do the child-friendly thing, but I don't really want to do it. I'll add some things that I actually want to do.
A few things, yeah.
Yeah, but all of that still being said, I personally don't find Dana Carvey funny.
Sure.
But I haven't seen Wayne's World.
Okay. Yeah.
I have seen him as Bush, which is pretty good. But other than that, I couldn't tell you anything else. Jennifer Esposito, beautiful.
Yeah, she's good.
Brent Spiner, the best thing in the film. James Brolin, I think that's the first thing I've ever seen him in. I haven't seen him in anything else. So the performances didn't give me anything.
Yeah.
The story didn't give me anything. But I didn't feel like I wasted my time. It was more like, I remember that.
Okay.
I watched that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, for the next episode.
Well, yeah. So first, I just want to say, finally, this facade that Tawana has been putting up for the last 2.5 weeks of absolutely loving this movie, hearing your honest opinions on it is so refreshing.
I gave it to you because you were really agitated.
It gives me hope.
You were really agitated. This film really touched you. But your pick, which we'll put it out there, is Freddy Got Fingered.
Freddy Got Fingered. Because this movie, it's like they settled for what they knew that they had to make and then they didn't try. Freddy Got Fingered feels like what this movie was originally trying to be. Freddy Got Fingered is a statement about the fact that it exists itself.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you see, the difference is, I watched Master of Disguise when I was a kid.
Sure.
And I was rewatching it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Freddy Got Fingered before.
No nostalgia.
No nostalgia. So when I'm watching it now, we'll talk about it.
Sure. I never watched Freddy Got Fingered as a kid. I saw it as a late teenager. But, yeah, it'll be an interesting episode.
I think it says a lot about your psychology.
Probably does, yeah.
It says a lot, but we'll get into it. This will probably be part of part 2. It came out in 2 parts because Max really had to get a lot of stuff off his chest.
This movie really bothered me.
You overthink this stuff too much. I can switch my brain off. I can accept a movie for what it is and just go, okay.
But it's... I am very sorry if I was dismissive or overly cynical about this throughout the recordings, because I realize I'm very fucking harsh on this movie.
You are. It's meant for kids.
It's meant for kids, but kids deserve better than this. This was... I can accept something telling me to turn my brain off so it can just have a good time, but this was telling me to turn my brain off
To not expect quality. Like, you could tell Dana Carvey was throwing the movie.
They just didn't try. They decided this will be good enough. It's why I keep saying it's jangling keys. They just decided this will be good enough for the idiots watching this film. I mean, as a kid laughing at this shit, some stuff happening, but like, I just think kids deserve more than this. And that's why it offended me so much, and that's why I was so passionate about it. So,
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. But I also think kids don't know much about, like, film and stuff like that. So
No.
if you give them anything, like, a kid will watch anything that just got color on the TV. They'll
Yeah.
be mesmerized by it.
But I think that's a bad way to raise kids.
Yeah, but you've got loads of people who raise their kids just giving them an iPad and just be like, go on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think that's terrible.
I know it is,
Yeah.
but you're not going to change it. You've already opened the can. You can't put the worms back in the can.
But I'm not just going to accept it silently. I'm going to voice my disappointment with the world. Because otherwise nothing's ever going to change.
Do you think Minecraft is a better film than this?
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it. I think Minecraft is as cynical as this movie. I think the people making it maybe put more effort into it. But from what I've seen of it and what surrounds it, I think that movie is as cynical as this movie. The only difference is that the audience is also now as cynical as the movie. Which is why things like the chicken jockey moment blow up online as a viral meme of a bunch of people ironically, but semi-not ironically, losing their shit over this shared moment. That is... Like, if you've seen the videos of the people throwing popcorn and drinks all over the movie theater, causing an absolute mess, being chaotic as hell, causing hell for the people who have to clean it all up, it's because it's a shared cultural meme of several layers of irony, thinking, chicken jockey, look how stupid that is that they're just saying chicken jockey and they expect us to all clap and bark like seals. Let's actually clap and bark like seals because we're gonna meet this movie where it's at. And I don't think kids are necessarily thinking about it that complexly, but I think that is the emotion that leads to that happening.
What's the film with Owen Wilson's brother?
Luke Wilson?
Luke Wilson.
What, Idiocracy?
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
What you've just described just made me think of Idiocracy.
Yeah. I mean, Idiocracy came out in the mid-2000s when there was a lot of low-effort trash put out there. And there were some things that were made to point out the low-effort trash. And I think because of the internet and because of the sharing of ideas that the internet can allow, and also because of the sort of toxic cynicism that the internet can breed, I think a lot of society is caught up with that cynical attitude that we were served. And now we are approaching things with that attitude again, which, I mean, it's kind of nice to fight back against low-effort trash that we're supposed to just eat
But
up.
are you fighting back if you go to the cinema and you watch the film and you're giving them the money?
Exactly, that's what I mean. It's a very cynical, nihilistic way to voice that weird little feeling, that, as Bo Burnham says, that little funny feeling inside.
Well, that's for this week.
That's all. Freddy got fingered next time.
Freddy got fingered.
Look at me, Daddy. I'm a farmer.
You can catch us on Spotify. Are we on Amazon?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Amazon, YouTube. Share with your friends. Watch Master of Disguise. Do some shrooms. Smoke some weed. Be drunk. Have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously like Max did. Know it's a bad film going into it. And just enjoy. Because you can have fun with it. Just don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay? It's okay.
Sure.
The world's okay. The
I have
world's
to
okay.
let it go.
Well, catch us next time. I'm Tawana. That's Max.
Yep.
Peace.